Hey guys, Yips here, coming with another video, and this one's going to be about the nerfs that have come in today and will be active tomorrow, the 5th of December, for Warlocks. So for you who don't know, Warlock was performing extremely well on every single boss in this raid tier. That's kind of obvious. That's just how Affliction works, especially with the way that they've designed our artifact weapon, where they've added so many traits and our artifact weapon doubles the traits and, 10% increased damage. I mean, they have all these modifiers with Contagion and Malefic Grasp for percent modifiers. Obviously, Affliction is going to scale extremely well. So of course what they've done is they've nerfed us again, and the nerfs were 6% to Agony and Corruption and 4% to Unstable Affliction. They nerfed the tier 20 set bonus by 5%, so 15% haste to 10% haste, and they buffed our tier 21 4-piece from 10% increased damage to 15% increased damage. Overall, I think this was a good move by Blizzard. I think the nerfs are reasonable. I don't think it's too much. I don't think it's too little. I think Affliction will still perform very well, definitely above average in terms of the classes, but it's not going to be on the same powerhouse level, especially on single target. So for those of you who don't know, tier 20 4-piece plus tier 21 2-piece is really OP. It's a lot better than just wearing tier 20 4-piece and tier 21 4-piece and using like a helmet plus another legendary. It is a lot better. It's over 10% increased DPS to use this 2-piece 4-piece set. So nerfing the tier 20 4-piece from 15% to 10% is quite a big nerf on single target when you encompass the dot changes as well. So we can be expecting probably like, a 10% decrease moving from this week if you were using the 2-piece 4-piece into next week. The multiple target dot changes are a lot less though. We're probably only going to be experiencing a maybe 2 to 3% DPS loss on multiple targets, simply because the T21 4-piece is excellent on multiple targets. Being able to get 10% increased damage on your Agony, Corruption, and Siphon Life whenever you cast a UA, and you'll always be having this buff active, is huge. So the fact that that went from 10% to 15% and Siphon Life didn't get nerfed, so technically speaking your Siphon Life got buffed by 5% when you're wearing the tier 21 4-piece, the DPS on multiple targets is going to be around the same that we're doing right now if you are using the tier 21. If you are not using the tier 21, the DPS will be slightly lower, but not as bad as on single target. So overall, I think Blizzard did a reasonable job nerfing things. I think we're going to be, a middle of the pack class on single target, which is where Warlock should be. Obviously, if you're RNGing out, you might have, an upper-ended pull where you're doing more than other people, but on multiple targets, we're still going to be doing extremely well. Even if you're not using the tier 21 4-piece yet, we'll still be doing a lot of damage, and with the tier 21 4-piece, we're going to be doing even more than before. So, a 2 to 3% loss if, you were never using the 2-piece 4-piece, it's really not that bad. Now, how does this affect legendaries? How does this affect talents? That's kind of the last thing I want to talk about really quickly. This makes the legendary ring slightly worse than it was currently. It's not as strong as it was in Tomb of Sargeras, simply because now legendaries are 1,000 item level, as well with scaling. The fact that this legendary ring doesn't give as much stats and other issues makes it worse than it was before. It's still good though. But also the fact that a lot of Warlocks will now be switching to running Siphon Life with the tier 21 4-piece once you get that, is kind of going to phase out the legendary ring for the most part, because Siphon Life does not benefit from that, and a lot of Warlocks are going to switch from Soul Conduit to Siphon because of the UA nerf. So, so basically Legendary Ring is going to be slightly worse. We're going to see a lot of Warlocks transitioning into using Helmet and Belt, or Helmet and Pride as some sort of combination like that. And yeah, so not too bad. Not too bad overall. Talents, Siphon Life's going to be a lot more popular than Soul Conduit now. Helmet's going to be better. Probably see a lot of Warlocks switch away from the tier 22 4-piece to the tier 21 4-piece, which is what the goal should have been all along. So hopefully you guys don't freak out too bad. Affliction is still going to be just fine, and it's still going to be one of the top specs for sure, especially because we saw Shadow Priest getting nerfed on multiple targets, so Affliction is going to be probably still one of the top specs for this raid tier. It's just a few nerfs to bring us back in line with the other classes, which totally makes sense. So hopefully you guys are satisfied with what Blizzard did. I kind of saw the nerfs and I was like, yeah, it's going to hurt my DPS a little bit, but I'm still going to be doing well. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're okay with this. I'm okay with it. Hopefully you're okay with it too. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all later. Hopefully, sorry, last quick note. Hopefully next week I'll have some boss kill videos out for you guys. So for those of you who are confused about how to do damage, over this next week I'm going to be getting some of those kill videos out and just talking about how to deal damage to the bosses. It's pretty much the same as every other boss that Affliction does. I mean, you're just trying to maximize your Reap and Wrath of Consumption, uptime, and some other things. So hopefully you guys like this video. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, or day, or whatever. Have a good one.